home ownership is increasingly out of reach.
In our portfolio, the majority cannot buy a home, cannot afford to buy a home, or don't have the credit to buy the homes. I think if you asked a lot of millennials, and that tends to be our primary resident, they would probably tell you that they don't necessarily desire to own a home or to own a car. And they've grown up in the sharing economy, and for what's important to them is lifestyle, right? And so if they can move into this, what we call a turnkey or hotel-ready home, and have a low-maintenance lifestyle, that's very compelling for them.
People don't want to they don't want to own anything. They want to be penniless and impoverished, live at the whims of oligarchs. That's really what they want. Do you own anything, Mr. Oligarch guy? She never asked. Stephanie Pomboy is an economist, CEO of Macro Maven. She joins us tonight to assess. Stephanie, thanks so much for coming on. So as always, the beneficiaries of these schemes are never the people who they tell you they are. Oh, the oppressed, the hopeless in our inner cities. It's always their donors who are buying up residential homes and turning them into rental properties. I mean, that's who's winning here, Democratic donors.
Gee, you think? You know, I'm reminded of that old expression, those who refuse to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. We tried this exercise under George Bush when they decided that we needed to create a home ownership society. And, you know, the Bush administration, in conjunction with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, you'll recall Franklin Raines and Barney Frank, all got in and decided that we needed to make it easier for people to become homeowners. And we all remember how well that whole situation worked out. But I would argue this situation is even more sinister than what you outlined in terms of trying to get people to move to the suburbs and, you know, basically cajole them into home ownership, because we are on the doorstep of another deflating home bubble right now. So essentially what they're doing is they're encouraging people to stretch into homes that they couldn't otherwise afford, precisely as the floor is about to fall out underneath them as prices decline. And we got existing homes sales as reported by the National Association of Realtors yesterday, and it reflects the second back-to-back month of declining home prices. So it's here already. And we have seen sales volumes just collapse at a speed that is even faster than we saw during the housing bubble bust. And that presages an equally substantial decline on prices. So I think we will, again, for only the second time in our history, see nationwide home prices decline. So this idea that now is the time to encourage people who can't otherwise afford to get into homes to do so is really, really dangerous. These people will probably be underwater in their homes before they even get the keys. Then what? Then what kind of policy are they going to prescribe? You know, I shudder to imagine. And, you know, it goes without saying, Tucker, or it should, that the reason homes are increasingly unaffordable for people is because we have spent over a decade pushing money into this economy with reckless monetary and fiscal policy that inflated a massive bubble in housing that now the Fed is raising rates to dampen. So you have a combination of inflated home prices and higher interest rates that have made it unaffordable. It's not racism that's making homes unaffordable. It's reckless policy, and they're layering more reckless policy on top to solve it.
So nicely put. So nicely put. This is what asset inflation looks like for the average person. Stephanie Pomboy, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Tucker.
So you will remember